All right, Kunai affiliates. I just sat up there and I was scrolling on YouTube Shorts and I seen some Dragon Ball hot takes. And we're gonna go ahead and go through it. So let's go ahead and do it. Gazelle, nigga, what the fuck? Come on.
Okay, so we have Dragon Ball hot takes, but they increasingly get hotter. All right, let's check this out. 0%. The Universe 6 Saiyans ruined Super Saiyan and were unreasonably strong.
That is true. They did ruin Super Saiyan a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's still good because at the end of the day, you don't have to feed into that bullshit. But at the end of the day, I just enjoyed the fights and I enjoyed the story, but it was a dumbass thing. Niggas had a tingle in their back. Other Saiyans didn't have to learn that way. Niggas really had to go through hardships. So yes, that is true.
This is true. That back-tingly BS that they had to achieve Super Saiyan
I got it right.
Ruined Super Saiyan, and this is true. 10%. Gohan is one of, if not the most well-written character in the series. Listen,
I ain't gonna lie, that is true. And also, Dragon Ball Z ain't even supposed to be around Goku. It is around Gohan's development as a character. That's why most of the time you see the camera on Gohan and not Goku, unless he is coming to fight the major villain or something like that. Because as you see it, Raditz kidnapped Gohan, this, that, and the other. Planet Namek, you see mostly of that adventure, which is rightfully so, regardless if you go which way, because Gohan was in the main territory of the unknown with Frieza and the Ginyu Force and also the Frieza Force taking over all the Planet Namek. But then he got his hidden potential unlocked. This, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? So basically that is true. And then also he was supposed to take over when the Boo series came. They also made the movie with BoJack for that very reason too. So yes.
this actually isn't that hot of a take. If you understand Gohan's character, he's actually written pretty well. 20%. Goku is not a bad father. And the reason why people think this is because of Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
I wouldn't say it's because of that. I would say it's because most of the time he is out training, but people gotta also understand Goku has been literally saving the world since a jit. That nigga has been putting paws on foes for like shit. So long that your grandma know that nigga, bro. So long that your great-great-grandma know that nigga. And but he does have some questionable things, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, when the nigga is dead, what can he do? Nobody else can fight them villains. Nobody else was on Earth to really fight them villains. Like, yeah, Piccolo helped him with Raditz, but inevitably he had to hold Raditz down and had to die.
Yeah, this is true. DBZ Abridged did like mental damage to you guys. Goku is not a bad father.
I can't blame Team 4-Star for it because I already watched Dragon Ball Z.
30%. Although there's many memorable moments, the Buu Saga is the weakest in Z. Yes, the Buu Saga is objectively the worst in Dragon Ball Z, and that's just...
Okay, I can actually kind of agree. I can kind of agree with it, but remember, they were trying to give Gohan the mantle. That's why he has the gi on. But it just didn't work out. Nobody wanted it. I'm pretty sure they would have had something come up to where Gohan could have been even more the greatest. They made him sorry for Goku to come back. That boy jumped up in the air and he caught a baseball, but he couldn't catch a Patara earring. Y'all gotta understand, that's bullshit.
Just true. 40%. Cell is the best villain in the series and was the main reason the Buu Saga went the way it did. That's true.
That is true. He made everybody scared as hell. Cell was like a horror character that turned into an action character. He's like a Resident Evil embodiment. A Resident Evil 4 embodiment, a Resident Evil 7 embodiment, even though 7 was still pretty horror and everything like that, but it went more into action as soon as you got your base. As soon as you got your base and you got your shit, yes. So I can kind of agree with this take.
Toriyama used all his stocks in the Cell Saga because the Cell Saga was perfect. 50%. Frieza returning so many times is repetitive, and they should have used Buu for the Tournament of Power.
Well, they would have, and they should have used Buu, but I feel like there was other characters they could have used. Like, let's keep it a bean. They could have sat up there and used Cell. I understand why they went with Frieza. Ratings, this, that, and the other. Everybody loves Frieza, but he came back way too many times, bro. He came back way too many times.
Yes, I wish they used Buu for the Tournament of Power, but then again, then we wouldn't have the Black Frieza arc, so I don't know. Okay, I don't know. 60%. The Goku Black arc was bad, and the only good things about it were Zamasu's motive and Rose. Listen.
But look, okay, yeah, that is true. That was kind of a base. But everybody was so, like, that arc was, like, very mysterious, and it made it fun for me to watch because every episode I'm like, are they going to reveal it? Are they going to reveal it? It was the anticipation and the build-up. and then everything turns up from there. And then you didn't know that Zamasu and Goku Black was working together at first, and then you figure out they working together. You still don't know who Goku Black is. Everybody, I ain't gonna lie, I was one of the people that ended up falling into that it was Goten ass shit, trope. You know what I'm saying? But hey, but I didn't fully believe it because they kept calling him Goku Black.
This isn't that bad of a take, because the Goku Black arc, you know, story-wise wasn't that great, but everything else was kind of gas about it. Like the fights, the forms, it was just gas, let's be real. 70%. Hit and Goldo have the coolest abilities in the series and are wasted. Yes.
Goldo's abilities, I'm not even saying it because he just like this little ass dude, but we really didn't see much from him. I'm pretty sure that's all he can do anyways, but Goldo had a good moveset, but it wasn't, that's not a preferred loadout, my gang. I ain't gonna lie, that wasn't a loadout that I would have wanted. He was in his bag with moves. He is the better.
Now, Hit could make a comeback, but Goldo's time freeze was wasted. Goldo was a crazy overpowered character. 80%. The Tree of Might is the best movie in the series and Turles should be canon. Now, listen, I don't know about...
I ain't gonna lie, since Goku Black came out, I don't think Turles should be canon unless they do something very, very dope with him. Like, I wouldn't even mind it if they sat up there and they redid this movie and they made it into an arc. And they made it into an arc about the Tree of Might. I wouldn't mind if they redid that and made it into episodes, but make it more modern and sit up there and put some new aspects to it. Because Turles was a badass character. He was a good ass character. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like if they're gonna bring Turles back, they gotta do something. They gotta revamp the nigga some way, somehow.
Not all that, okay? I don't know if it would fit into like the original timeline. I feel like that'd be a problem. But Turles is he's dope. 90%. Gogeta is the cooler fusion and makes more sense than Vegito against Buu.
I ain't even finna comment on that.
No, Vegito is the cooler fusion. Screw that hot take, buddy. Vegito solos. 100%. King Cold is the worst character to ever be introduced and was a waste of someone who we thought would be intimidating.
Hey, but it still worked though because everybody was starting to get scared when that nigga showed up. Nigga tall as fuck, probably like 7 foot. A little bit under Brawly height, I guess, probably. But at the end of the day, that's Frieza's dad. So everybody was scared. Everybody thought he was gonna come in and shake some shit until Trunks out there and put that blade through that nigga heart.
This is true. King Cold, Frieza's dad, should have been way cooler and way stronger than Frieza. Like, that should have been way cooler. All right, that's been this guy's Dragon Ball hot take.
But then also when it comes to that, but when it comes to all the takes and everything like that too, especially that take is what I'm about to say. You gotta remember, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z has been out for years. And we already know these things now. We go back and watch it and we like, this nigga is a fraud. And we already know he a fraud. Some niggas may be cold frauds, but King Cold was definitely a fraud. And him being a fraud, like, we know this indefinitely now, regardless of how many times we watch it, how many times we sit up there. We can't forget the arcs because everything was just so memorable. We just remember it. Most of us have watched Dragon Ball Z back to back to back to back to back and not give another anime show a chance. That's most people. So you're going to remember every aspect of Dragon Ball that you have ever watched. And I guess that's it for this take. I guess that's it for the Dragon Ball hot takes. Y'all stay cool. Make sure y'all follow up, Twitch, everything else like that. We out here.